So let's switch gears for a minute.
Yes, please.
Let's talk about this piece of health at every size.
Yes,
Because
yes,
this is something I was interested in
yes,
terms of you being able to teach our viewers
yes,
and talk to them about that.
yeah,
And of course, that even I struggle with that. Wait, oh my gosh, I need to lose 50 pounds. You go to the doctor and that's amazing. They say, I want you to lose 50 pounds. You need to lose 70 pounds. And that's it. And they walk out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, okay, now let's see, where do I start?
Right.
And how do I do that? And so, there's that struggle, do I go to the gym? And there are probably more people out there who are watching this right now. They have more treadmills in their homes with clothes thrown all over it, or, or stationary bicycles, when there are those basic simple things to get out and commune with nature.
Right.
Take a walk. Walking is
Right.
supposed to
Love
be
that.
some of the
Right.
best exercise.
Right.
But I wanted to hear your take on when you talk about that part of your three-legged stool, health at every size.
So, thank you for asking. There's a wonderful study that's done in 2008 in the psychology of addictive behaviors. Self-affirmation increases acceptance of health risk information. So let me ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
You're not going to answer them. You and I are just going to ponder them. Questions
Okay.
like, have you ever forgiven another person? Have you ever been considerate of another person's feelings? Have you ever given to someone less fortunate? Have you ever tried to cheer someone up? So, and for viewers, you can ponder these questions, right? So when we're reflecting on our own goodness and examples of our own goodness, what they found is that when they geared it towards smoking, people made more change with smoking. And when they geared it toward eating increasing fruits and vegetables, people ate more fruits and vegetables, right? So again, what I'm talking about is the brain's approach channel. How can we go toward wellness and not toward self-criticism? And anyone out there who thinks they're trying to help people by talking to them about their weight, whether it's a friend or anyone else or relative, the studies show that that is really counterproductive. That when people feel judged and they feel criticized, that it's
Very
going
much so.
to go
Yeah.
exactly in the direction that's not helpful and
Right.
go toward taking care of ourselves in the ways that maybe don't serve. So Dr. Linda Bacon, who I haven't studied with, but she's another local author, she does these wonderful studies. And again, it's correcting the record. And I know you're all about people getting accurate information.
Right.
There is much less correlation between wellness and weight than we have been told.
I can believe that. I really and truly can believe that. Have you ever seen someone that people, our society may say, wow, that person is really obese, but they're able to do the splits. They can dance on a Michael Jackson song the entire 15 minutes of the record, and not pretty much even break a sweat. And people relate because you're thin, and we also know that people who are thin, more heart disease, hypertension, diabetes. I mean, there are all these other things. So I would very much agree with what you said. You can't look at weight and say this person is unhealthy, and at the same time, because this person's really thin, that they are healthy. And there are other factors, of course. There's genes.
And it becomes
all
comical almost.
Right.
I was listening to, there's a show on NPR. They had a couple of examples that made me laugh. There was this woman who said she was educating her own physicians. And this is someone that was doing half marathons and marathons. And she was educating her own doctors about how no matter what her size was, she was a curvy person, a larger person, and she was very successful in these endeavors and educating them about this information. And then she talked to the reporter for the story and told them all the athletic accomplishments they had. And the reporter said, so are you going to try again to lose weight? I'm like, what was it that you did not just
What
listen
part?
to?
You didn't get
right?
that memo.
Not get that
Right.
memo, right? And the other thing I thought was really funny is they were interviewing this researcher who said, there are people that we're noticing that are obese and well, and people that we're noticing that are thin and not well. And so they're saying that it's some kind of exception to the rule. And it's sometimes the data is right in a person's face, but they're so sure the point they need to make that they
Right.
can't see the data. It's like, yes, those things you're finding because that's how life is.
Right.
Life involves these variations, and variation in size and shape is part of human diversity.
Right, right. And in our society, of course, everything that you see, of course, now you see more commercials and things around uh, plus size, um, and yet there's still this pervasive attitude that in order for you to be accepted and to be sexy and all of these things that you really need to be thin and and it's just not the way. It's really about your mindset, coming back to mind, body, spirit, and being in touch with who you are and feeling good about who you are, because that is what comes across to people. People don't look at it and realize, oh wow, that person's really overweight. What they look at is, God, this person has a great personality. They've got a lot of energy. I love being around
And
them.
what's considered sexy, of course, varies depending on communities,
Exactly.
culture, sexual orientation.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about sexy for a minute, okay? So when we're nourishing our food and we're not going the low-fat route, we're nourishing our brain. These are foods that can support our wellness sexually, right? Because we're coming into more hormonal balance, we're getting more sleep, and there's a lot of more strength and wellness that's available.
Right.
So these things are very interrelated.
Right.
Right?
I agree.